first vote to decide the next pope takes place.
PM. Proactive stance in trade talks to both safeguard core interests. Meet U.S. demands.
Nagayan people wrote the golden history of Dien Bien Phu victory.
Hello everyone, you are watching today's news on NTV channel. My name is Dun. Let's get started. Over 1 billion Catholics around the world waiting for the new Pope to be chosen. On Wednesday morning in Vatican City, 133 cardinals will begin a secret process called conclave in the Sistine Chapel.
In a process that dates back to medieval times, the cardinals will enter the chapel after a public mass in St. Peter's Basilica and begin the conclave to elect a successor to Pope Francis. For centuries, no pope has been elected on the first day of the conclave. So the voting could last several days before one of the Church's cardinals receives the two-thirds majority needed to become the 267th pope. There will be only one vote on the first day. After that, the cardinals can vote up to 4 times a day. Black smoke will signify no decision. White will announce that the 267th pope has been elected.
Relations between Pakistan and India have reached a dangerously high level of tension in recent years. This follows India's deepest attacks on Pakistani territory since the 1971 war, further escalating the long-standing conflict between the two neighboring countries.
The Pakistani military confirmed that India had launched air-to-surface missiles at 5 locations in Pakistan, killing 8 people and injuring 35 others. Pakistan has also temporarily closed its airspace. On social network X, Pakistani Prime Minister Shehbaz Sharif announced that Islamabad was making a strong response to what he said was an act of war by India. Following the attack, the Pakistani military launched heavy shelling in the Karna area of Kupwara district, Jammu and Kashmir state of India. India also fired back. Experts say India's military strike is not a surprise. Many believe an attack is just a matter of time. Tensions between the two nuclear-armed nations could escalate in the coming days, and the situation could change by the hour.
Prime Minister Pham Minh Chinh on Tuesday chairing cabinet meeting to assess the current trade situation and the new context and negotiations for balanced and sustainable trade ties with the U.S.
Vietnam has so far demonstrated a constructive and proactive approach, sending representatives to the U.S. and engaging in numerous discussions to promote balanced and sustainable trade relations. The U.S. has proposed a concrete negotiation schedule, indicating its goodwill in line with commitments made during recent high-level contacts and follow-up working sessions and meetings between the two sides. The Prime Minister ministries and relevant agencies to focus on countermeasures in response to the U.S.'s reciprocal tariff policy. Prepare thoroughly for effective negotiations adhering to the principle of harmonizing interests and sharing risks, and basing on the spirit of ensuring Vietnam's legitimate and legal rights and interests, especially core interests.
Coming up next are some updated news.
Nagayan Provincial People's Committee has just announced the Investment, Trade and Tourism Promotion Program for 2025. Accordingly, the investment promotion aims to promote the potential and strengths of Nagayan Province, focusing on effectively implementing mechanisms and policies on calling for investment, creating a friendly investment environment to attract strategic investors. At the same time, expanding international cooperation relationships, so that Nagayan is a successful destination for domestic and foreign businesses, investors and tourists. The provincial leader said that Nagayan will proactively approach and connect with major investors and FDI enterprises to promptly attract new investment capital flows. Along with investment promotion and tourism promotion, Nagayan will participate in linkage and trade promotion programs with provinces and cities across the country, especially trade connection activities between businesses and distributors, domestic and foreign exporters, importers.
Vietnam recorded more than 7.67 million international tourist arrivals between January and April, marking a 23.8% increase compared to the same period last year. Open visa policies, increased promotion and a series of major events such as the April 30th holiday have contributed to strongly attracting international visitors. At the same time, domestic tourism has also boomed. According to statistics from the Vietnam National Administration of Tourism, during the 5-day holiday alone, from April 30th to May 4th, the tourism industry is estimated to welcome about 10.5 million visitors, an increase of 31.2% over the same period in 2024. According to data from the General Statistics Office, revenue from tourism in the first 4 months of the year is estimated at 30,400 billion Vietnamese dongs, an increase of 24.5% over the same period last year.
As part of the UN Day of Vesak 2025 celebrations, more than 10,000 people gathered at the Vietnam Buddhist Academy and the Lang La Cultural Park in Ho Chi Minh City on May 6 evening for a candle lighting ritual, praying for world peace, human dignity and sustainable development for all humanity. The Night of Flower Lanterns lighting for peace is not only a symbolic ritual, but also an act of resonance between religion and life, between spirituality and reality. Each candle lit is a deep wish for an end to war, violence, and injustice, an affirmation of a future with people at the center of development.
"71 years ago, one of the greatest victories in our nation's history echoed across 5 continents and shook the world. The victory at Dien Bien Phu stands as a powerful testament to the Vietnamese people's unbreakable will and unity. In that historic campaign, countless heroes gave their lives for the independence and freedom of the nation."
Of the 644 graves gathered at the A1 Martyrs Cemetery, Dien Bien Phu City, only 4 graves have names. This is the grave of hero Tran Can, a son from the rice fields of Yen Ton District. Martyr Tran Can is known for many brave feats. In particular, he was the one who planted the flag of determination to fight and victory on the Him Lam Hill base. Hero Tran Can planted the first flag on the Him Lam base, adding strength and affirming the power of our army to quickly win this opening battle and later win other bases in the Dien Bien Phu campaign. What the French could not imagine was that our troops, in the most difficult and dangerous situations, were empowered by the faith of those who refused to retreat. Therefore, there were heroes like Deputy Platoon Leader Dang Din Ho, from Tan Chuang District, who, despite being wounded, still resolutely stayed behind to command the fighting unit, or Hero Phan Tu, from Yen Ton District, who hugged explosives and jumped into the river to break the underground rocks and clear the waterway.
Hero Phan Tu dived over and over again, each time taking 60 seconds. While the technical requirement only allowed 40 seconds, the unit discussed organizing a live funeral. He hugged explosives and jumped into the river to break the underground rocks, clearing the waterway.
From peaceful villages, peasants in plain clothes eagerly went to battle and were ready to shed blood to exchange for independence and freedom for the whole nation. They, together with the army and people of the whole country in general, and the army and people of Tan Nagi Tin in particular, created the glorious Dien Bien Phu victory.
The army force in Dien Bien Phu reached 55,000 troops, while the frontline labor force serving the campaign reached 261,000, of which Nagi people accounted for 70%.
The soldiers carried in their hearts a passionate flame of patriotism, fought and sacrificed bravely, creating miracles that the enemy could not have imagined. They were not distant great men, but peasants in plain clothes, who put aside their simple lives to take up arms to defend the fatherland.
This is the end of the show today. Thank you for watching.